Okay, so at this point, Bob is feeling a little bit better. He has rooms that he can go in. He has his own bedroom. He has a bathroom, a closet. I've even added a laundry room. So that's a pretty good space. And now it's time to actually try to furnish this with some basic appliances and stuff, or at least the structures. We might not be able to get to the appliances, but at least he'll have things. So if you look at the floor plan, there was a design that we would place some countertops, some couch, a bed, and some other furniture. Some of these things are pretty easy to make, but it's also important to think about the scale. So whenever you're building something, bring Bob with you. Have him take a look at it so that you can know if it's going to be appropriate for him. So basically, we'll bring the scale person over here, and then we'll see if we can build the countertops. So let's use the rectangle tool, and we'll go from here, and then we'll go in a little bit, and let's actually try to do it at a better angle. Something like that. And then we can extrude up to the height that we want. And we want to make sure that it's something that Bob can actually use at a height that's appropriate for him. So lift it up like that. And at this point, I mean, you could get crazy precise. I'm okay if it's not super precise for a design like this, but there are official measurements for how wide countertops are. Usually it's about 2 feet for kitchen countertops, or 1.5 feet, depending. So you can use your best judgment for that. If you look here, there's like what looks to be an some sort of sink, or I'm not sure actually what this space is. This is the sink here, and this is the stove. So if we wanted to put a stove in, we could do that. Let's just assume that actually might be the fridge. That would make sense. So maybe what we should do, that would just be a counter, but what we should do instead is we should build a space, leave a little bit of a gap. So we have this, and then we have our fridge here. So we draw that in, and we draw that in. The fridge can come up. Usually the fridge is about the height of a person. And then we bring this up to the countertop. And then that is going to go basically up to his waist. And that could be actually taken a bit further along here, as long as there's enough space there to get into things. And there's another pantry space you could also build if you wanted to. We could probably extrude this out a little bit. It looks like it comes out a little bit. And then we have a rough approximation of our countertop area. And if you really wanted to get fancy, you could even have a little bit of an overhang. So you could take this part from here in and extrude it down. If you notice, it's a bit hard to get a good angle at things. If you're really doing some close work, it's sometimes helpful to switch back to your perspective view, and then you can really zoom in, and you can see, you can even zoom into the walls, but now I can kind of see where I'm at, and I can get a better angle. So now I'm in perspective view, you can see this, and I'm going to bring that down a little bit. So it has a bit of an extrusion. You can kind of see it from that side. And that can be our countertop. So that's a nice start. Now if we want to do other complex shapes, like a couch for example, that might be a little bit more tricky. So let's take our design tools again, and we want to put a couch here and a couch there. Well, a couch is basically just a big rectangle, and then you slowly start adding details. So if we want to have a couch facing the TV, so let's actually put the TV in first. So we go into here on this side, we put a TV close to the back, not quite touching, and then we take, it's not quite that long actually, but we can tweak it after. And then we block out. Basically, we could switch to a top view and just kind of block out what we want. And you can see here now that I'm doing perspective that it's a little bit skewed, but this actually helps me kind of see where all the walls are. It's kind of nice. And then we block out where we want our furniture. So it's going to be something like that, except this one's actually supposed to be the longer one. And this one is the shorter one, if we look at the drawing. So I'm constantly referring back to the drawing that I made earlier, constantly. And we have a little table next to the window. It actually goes, the window's a little bit big now that I see it, so I'm going to have to tweak that. It doesn't go all the way to the sides like I have here. So we can start tweaking things, moving and adjusting. And now I can lift this up. This is the TV table. Move it in on the sides. And I can lift up my couch. So this is couch number 1, this is couch number 2, this is the little dresser table. And it looks like it actually goes close towards it. And then, for something like a couch, it's pretty easy to cut out a piece. So we take from here to here, and then you take your extrude and you go down. And then now you have a couch. And then you take another one from here to here, and you extrude down. And I'm not really being super precise. You could try to get it really lined up. If you were spending more time, you can really line these up and really make it look like a nice, proper couch space. And you could even get even more finicky with like having the different pillows on the couch and that sort of thing. For now, this is a pretty good outline of what we want. There's also an idea of putting a plant in the corner. Maybe don't worry about that at this point. But what we could do is put the TV. But you know what? Let's put a nice big flat screen TV in there. So a nice flat screen TV. Put that like that. And ultra thin. Yeah, that's nice. And yeah, let's take a look here. Zoom out. So this is looking actually pretty cool. We got some, oh, and look, Bob, it really looks like Bob is actually able to be a bit more comfortable in this space. Now we need to, I'm going to add a few more things in, and you should add whatever things you want in your space, but always double check. Like, even if we look here, if Bob were to come over and hang out on the couch, like, that couch is way too small. Like, look at that. He's not going to be able to sit in that. So that's why you always got to get Bob to come take a look. Whenever you're building stuff, get Bob to look at it. Or whoever your scale person is. Maybe you named him Jane or Janet or Henry. Whoever it is. Get them to look at it. Because right now we can see that it's not right. So I'm going to make some adjustments and build some more furniture. And then check back afterwards to talk about how can we make it more colorful.